So it's going to be a little windy maybe, which is alright with me, 'cause the breeze feels really good. There's a dragonfly. I got kites that come and eat the dragonflies. Kites are really kick-ass birds. Anyway, kind of cross between an owl and a pigeon. So, what do I want to cover? Daniel Coin Help You. Daniel at Coin Help Channel, Coin Help You. So weird name, but yeah. I apologize for any confusion between two different books. You didn't tell me that I needed to get make sure you get the 4th edition. No. I just went on eBay and got the cheapest one I could find. And they really don't say much different. It's just this one's a little bit more elaborate about how it says it. So here's a picture of it. And here's a picture of Leroy Van Allen and Malice. What's Malice's name? George Malice. George Malice. Here's my little sticker on the front. It says, "Do not remove this, Wichita Library." Cost me $3 to have it transferred here. Hush! Transferred here from Illinois. And at the end of the month, this book is going back to Illinois after I copy a lot of pages and add them to my book, especially on preservation. So what do I have? I have that I'm going to lose my receipt. What do I have for Daniel at Coin Help You? Page 59, Daniel. Right there, the word fluted. I told you it's in here, you said it's not. I was right, you was wrong. It's plain and simple. I don't know if it's a lie, a fib, a mistake. I was right, you were wrong. Page 59, the word fluted. So, on to what happened with the section on cleaning. Cleaning, the section on cleaning is now, it's still chapter 16, but it's called Silver Dollar Preservation and Storage, chapter 16. So it has an introduction. It says that silver dollars were abused and business strikes were meant to be used for commerce. And for 100 years, they were used by government workers and general public, and struck at various places, and stuck in canvas bags, 1,000 coins per bag, and shipped around, and they picked up a lot of scratches and digs and marks, and bags of dollars being banged around in stiffy sprung stage coach wagons over potholed rut trails of the 19th century. A bunch of old cowboys running around with these silver dollars. So they took a lot of beating for 100 years. They've been in the bottom of 60-pound bags being bashed around in the back of old wagons and going out to the mine to pay the miners, whatever. Tossed around onto platforms and into vaults, and It's a wonder why any survive in MS65 condition. Cloth bags, canvas bags, contain sulfur compounds, and they put them in these bags, and they also got a lot of dirt and dust seep through into the bags, and so the coins became dirty and tarnished from the sulfur content in the bag, and just because they come from the mint does not mean that they'll be in a state of preservation just as they were struck from the mint. Just because they came from the mint, they were in a bag, doesn't mean they'll be in a state of preservation that they was when they was struck at the mint. Okay? They have to be returned to that state if possible. If possible. Okay, once the bags were open for commerce, the bag then was faked. Terms. Piled loosely in the cash drawers. Picking up nicks and scratches. Many of them were placed into paper coin rolls. Papers made out of sulfur that caused toning that was not there at the mint. When they come out of the mint, they did not have the toning. It was when they were being circulated, they were put into paper rolls in circulation, not at the mint, and that caused them to tone. So they're not in a state of preservation that they were when they left the mint. Fortunately, most of the Morgan and Peace dollars remain in bags of 1,000 until recent times. From the 1960s onward, silver dollars were, for the most part, disliked. So I remember that. I was born in 1960. There was no cash drawer for 50-cent pieces and silver dollars. So you just threw it in that bag of silver dollars and 50-cent pieces. Generally received minimum surface damage because of that. Yeah, many coins, however, reached circulation were bounced around in pockets and purses. They were used on gambling tables and in slot machines and you know, cowboys shooting holes through the dollars, throwing them around, kicking them around. They're just a dollar, you know. Handling silver dollars. So the first section is handling silver dollars. The preservation of silver dollars begins with proper handling. You should wear gloves, cotton gloves, rubber gloves, whatever. Wearing gloves is not very practical for most people, and awkward to use for many. You know, it's only an added extra safety precaution. Whatever, do it or go to get your fingerprints. Silver dollars, like numismatic coins, only handle them by the reeded edges, the little on the edges. The thing is, stuff gets stuck in those reeds, so you want to keep those reeds clean, because that stuff's going to migrate onto the face of the coin, especially if it's sulfuric acid stuck in the reeds. It will cause the whole outside of the coin to turn black, and then it will start creeping in from the outside to the center of the coin. That's my own opinion. So they say handle it by the reeded edge. I say don't. They say that grasp it with your thumb and your forefinger, whatever. Above all, do not hold or even brush the thumb and forefinger against the obverse and reverse surfaces. You know, I think it's okay to hold the front and the back of the coin. I don't think it's okay to rub it. I think if you hold it and then you let go, you're going to be okay. If you hold it and you rub it, you risk damaging the surface those top atoms on the top of the silver. The top silver atoms on the top layer atoms. Think of it as atoms on top of the silver. The top silver is a bundle of atoms, and there's a top layer. Okay? You don't want to harm that top layer. That's my opinion. Okay, so I say you could hold the front and back, just don't rub it. They say don't even hold it. They say because the oil's on your fingers, I say wash the oils off with dish soap of the coin. Dish soap will wash oils, finger oil, off of a silver dollar. Okay? Because that oil don't have the oxygen in it to react that quick. It's going to take, a year or so for it to even start to react. Now on a copper coin, a year, you have a nice clear fingerprint. So, okay, clean, remove the fingerprint. Avoid coughing. Don't cough and sneeze on your coins. So I got to tell you that one. And don't blow tobacco smoke on it. 4 silver dollars are stored. Okay, this section is called removal of contaminants, which means contaminants on a coin should be removed, right? Before silver dollars are stored, one has to consider whether any surface contaminants should be removed. When in doubt, it's best just not to remove any surface contaminants. But proper cleaning, because improper cleaning is going to screw it up. And improper cleaning could result in a drastic reduction of value. Talking here about a Morgan that was in a museum that got cleaned and cleaned and cleaned and cleaned until it lost its basins. They kept trying to take the tarnish off it, take the tarnish off it, take the tarnish off it. Well, the stuff that they're taking the tarnish off just eventually, a year or so later, turns into tarnish, and then they have to take that off. It's a never-ending, pretty soon, the polish, the basoning polish is gone. And so the coin is like junk value. From being, uncirculated, who knows, $10,000 coin or something, to be an AU, just from cleaning it. They try and take the tarnish off, and it just grows back as tarnish. Take it off. All they need to do is put in baking soda. My opinion. Which leads to the first rule of cleaning: never use anything abrasive such as silver polish or other things such as baking soda to polish over dollars. In the last book they said use baking soda. So, and if you Google, it's baking soda, baking soda, baking soda. So, polish, they want you to use sulfuric acid, and sulfuric acid beats off multiple layers of a silver coin. But polish doesn't, if it's the right polish. There are some polishes that you cannot break the surface of the silver. They're so soft. So I don't know how they say that. And there's the factor of pushing pressure when you rub will make the polish dig deeper. Letting off pressure will make the polish dig not so deep. Okay? And the speed of the push, like a whizzer's really fast, has a lot of velocity. Velocity and pressure are a lot of what determines what a polish does. And then does it even have the capability of being hard enough to crack the surface of the silver in the first place? So I still don't think they explain polish. The word polish covers so many different things. And one thing it covers is coin dipping. That's just a chemical polish. So, like it or not. anyway, which leads to the first rule of polished silvers. Removal of contaminants does not mean to also polish or disturb the surface. Yeah. Removal of contaminants doesn't mean to polish the surface, but it does mean to bring it back to being nothing on the surface. On uncirculated silver dollars, the most common is dirt and grease. Sure, dirt and grease. Usually this form of a light coating. It could be a thick coating. That might not be dirt and grease. It might be paint. Who knows what it could be. Generally this will not pose any damage to the coin, but in the second edition it says that leaving something on the coin is likely to damage it, because as it picks up moisture from the air, then it will react with silver over and over and over until it runs its pH, to neutral, until it hits pH 7. It's acid. It's pH 5. It's pH 5.5. It's pH 6. It's pH 6.5, 7. Okay, now it's neutral. All that time it's going to be toning. That may be 2 years for it to go through those pH steps. For the whole glob of whatever's on your coin. The safest way to remove this from silver dollar is with neutralizing solvent, which is what I said. That would be like a gun solvent. Gun solvent's probably one of your best first choices. A neutralizing solvent. It won't attack the silver. That's right. But when they say trichlorofluoroethane, that don't sound like no neutralizing solvent to me. That's acid. That's ethane. Like perchloroethane. Perchloroethane. That's propane. And then fluoro is going to be fluoride. And then chloro, you got a trichloride. Fluoro. Trichloride. Trifluoride. Ooh, couple of tries. That's some potent stuff there. But, they water it down, I guess. And then there's some ET something. ET Cointainer Co. is another. And then Testin Safe brand. Or acetone. I think acetone is acid. Do the coin thoroughly after the application. Acetone, however, available as fingernail polish remover. Oh, acetone is fingernail polish remover. You're cleaning your coins. It says you might want to use that fingernail polish remover. If the coin is entirely coated with dirt and grease, it will have to be dipped. I take the dirt and grease off before I dip it, because it's not gonna make an even dip with dirt and grease all over it. Some places it's gonna dip harder than other places, because it's gonna have to eat through the dirt here while it's eating through the silver over there. You get moon craters. You get pimple face. Pimpled the coin, man. So it also says that, you might want to use a kit. Get a kit and follow the directions. You can use a cotton swab, a Q-tip. Someplace else in here it says you can use a toothpick. I think we'll probably get to that here. Section on toning. Toning is the second most common contaminant. It can appear as a small crescent only on the edge or, both sides, and multicolored, dark, light, generally light shades. Dark tone are usually, let's see, the gray spotted stuff is not attractive and will lower the coin's value. So if you got spotted, yucky, gray toning, it will lower the coin's value. You need to take it off and clean it off to raise the coin's value. Toning is usually film oxidation combination with other compounds such as usually silver, results from interfering light produces colors, oxidized layer, and usually further after alter the oxidized surface and should not be removed in most cases. Heavily unattractive toning can pose a danger to the surface, and in many cases better to remove it for safe coin preservation, and it increases the value. You got heavy nasty toning on it, you take it off to increase the value. And what they're explaining what toning is mostly sulfuric acid reacting with the silver, just like sodium chloride is salt. Sodium reacting with chlorine, a sodium chloride salt. Okay, sulfuric acid reacting with silver makes silver sulfide, a salt, a crystal, just like a salt crystal, a sodium chloride salt crystal, a silver sulfide salt crystal. That's why they're so, these colors and so flashy looking. It's because your coin is covered with crystal. Okay, so it talks a little bit about that. Neutralizing solvents in many cases will remove toning, particularly the dark and heavy. I'm not sure, I haven't tried that. So I took a toning off of this coin right here with toothpaste. Now it still has a little bit of the black toning on the back. I could polish that off, but I like it. It's not, it doesn't take away from how silver and shiny the coin is. So I might clean the reeds some here, because I don't know what's in those reeds. And you know, the front, it's an interesting thing about this coin. Light acid bath. This is going to require a light acid bath to remove oxidized layer. This not only had that oxidized layer toning, turned it yellow. It was this canary yellow color. Somebody painted it with clear coat, varnish. The toothpaste ate the varnish off of it. Nice, they use cheap stuff. Talks about many dips on the market. Chemical urea. I think that's probably that urea, which is piss. Small amounts of sulfuric or nitric acid is what's in these dips. Obviously, the solution can react with the silver, copper, metal, as well as the oxide layer. So obviously, it says obviously, the dips can react with the silver, atoms of silver on the coin, and the salt layer, crystals, toning on top of that. So these dips have to be used carefully. Good to have somebody that's has some experience, because I see people that don't, they got it wrong, man. They got it so wrong. Their coins are so toned a year later because they don't neutralize. Thoroughly rinse in water. You got to neutralize. You got to rinse those reeds out. This can be followed by using a neutralizing solvent. Use a neutralizing solvent, baking soda and water. Something that's pH 8 or more. Use lime and water. I'm proud of it. Completely clean of all chemical residue. Can't leave any chemicals on it after you dip it. It's got to be all neutralized. If neutralizing solvent is not used, then the water must be removed from the coin surface, or water spots can result. You need to take the water off anyway, or you're going to get water spots. Water has calcium in it. That calcium, when the water dries, the calcium is going to be stuck on the coin. So get a microfiber cloth and remove the water. It's going to result, if the coin is left to dry on its own.